Hi, this is Sandy Johnson with Latham High Tech Seeds. I'm a sales account manager with the company, and the recording I'm going to do today is on customer entry. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm using a demo version, so it's a little different than what you see. I'm going to go to data entry and customer. And the first thing I'm going to say is it's a good idea to go in and see if the customer's already there. Even if you're a new dealer, there could have been customers that were transferred to you from a different dealer. And so always go and check to make sure that they aren't already in to avoid duplicates. So by doing that, you can go to load and it takes you to account number, or you can just go to account number. A lot of people try to go to the name and that's not where it's going to look it up. So there are no Webbers here. So I'm safe to go in and enter this new customer. So to do that, I'm just going to click on the pound sign and type in first name, last name. Now watch what happens when I click over here. It automatically fills in the description up here and down here. The role is always a customer, and the person they report to is the dealer. In this case, that is me. Billing type, I want to spend a couple minutes on. So billing type, we have two different types. We have direct or customer billing, and we have reports to. If you choose reports to, that means that you want all of your customers to be billed to your dealership. You don't want them getting any invoices direct from the company. So you are responsible for billing them, collecting from them. You're going to handle it all. Just want to point out that we do have the option of direct billing. And that, like I said, I like that to rather be called customer billing, but if you do that, you basically just need to make sure that that customer order is always up to date. So when they receive a statement from us, it's accurate. Nobody likes getting a statement that isn't accurate. So that's up to you. You're going to manage that. In the fall, especially, there's a lot of ordering going on, but they aren't necessarily 100% sure until after harvest. And so you have the option then, if you're starting their order, you can go ahead and click that you want us to hold that statement. That means we will not send anything out until that's clicked off. So you have that option, so just make sure that you do click that on if you don't want them to get a statement until you finalize their order. So I'm going to go back and change this to reports to, and you see how that grayed out now? A dealer cannot have his statement or her statement held. Only direct bill customers can. And if you do choose that, to have them direct billed as of January 31st, they are all taken off. All customers will receive bills because we feel at that point in time those orders should be solid. So now let's go down to the lower portion, and I've got locations, licenses, discount overrides, statistics, and notes. So locations, we're basically just going to put in this customer's address here. And just keep tabbing over and go to the zip. And here you put in the zip code. And once I get out of there, it automatically brings up the city, state, and county. Now, if no city comes up, that means there's more than one city for that zip code. In the drop-down box, it will have the others if there's more than one. And you just have to click on it and put it in there. Contact, you don't really need here. We know it's Ray Weber. However, if this was Weber Farms, the way you would enter that customer is you'd put nothing here. You'd put Weber Farms, and then down, that would also carry over into here and into here. And then down here, you would put Ray. And it's always good to get as much information as you can. So get a cell phone number, home, fax if they have, definitely an email. All right, these always default to mailing address and receive news. And Seedr is very consistent in all of the data entries as far as once you fill in the fields, when you hit submit, everything leaves there and it goes down into the grid. That is where it's stored. All right, I mean, all of these run pretty much the same way, so it's a good habit to get into. The next tab we have is licenses. When you're with your customer, if you can get that information earlier than later, That really makes a lot of difference on getting everything to run smoothly. Julie does look these up if they come in and we don't have a license for them. She'll go to Accelerate. Or if they have a license, she finds out they don't have a license, she will drop that license in the mail to them. And again, just submit if you have that information. The next is discount override. This is, you as a dealer earn so much volume. If you want to give some of that to your customer, now this is coming out of your pocket, you can do so. So you can even do a couple digits here if you want. And I'm going to hit submit. Now the important thing to remember about this is the volume discounts are stored in the customer file. So any orders you enter for this customer will get the same volume discount. You can't have one percentage for corn and another one for soybeans. So you need to keep that in mind if you do decide to give some of that customer volume of yours to your customer. Now this one is just storing information. If you do want to keep any of this in here, it will keep it for you. I think it's important if you do have a customer that consistently uses Farm Plan, let's get that number in there. It carries over year to year. If they have a certain time they want their seed delivered, if it's April, put that in there. If you have a customer that'll take it early, put that in there. Always nice to have the spouse name. So not required, but if you want to fill those in, it's there for you. Notes is another one. And this might be something, again, it's just for you. It's not required. Say they want, they work. So okay, so you can submit and store that. Again, not required, not required. This is up to you if you want to give away any of yours. Licenses, boy, the sooner we can get them, the better, but it too is not required. This needs to be required so we have an address for that customer. Please make sure you always go up and save. If you forgot to put something in, it will highlight that field that you forgot to put an answer to that is required. So you just need to go back, fill it out, hit submit, and go save. So that is entering a customer. Also remember that these are in Seedware year to year. So it's not like next year when we start over a new database, you have to go put them all back in again. That is not the case. We like to track sales year by year as well. It's also a good habit to get into to clear out of any data entry once you're done. What happens is if someone else is in that record, it will lock, and that works both ways. So if I was in it and you were trying to go back into it, it would say this is locked by office user or Sandy Johnson. I'm not sure how it comes up. Same thing for you. If you're in it and I'm trying to get in there, it'll tell me that you have it locked. So it's just a good idea in any of these data entries to just make sure that you clear out when you're done. All right, the next thing I want to show you is if you want to edit a customer. Again, you can go here or you can just go over into account number. So let's say that Robert got a different phone number. All right. So now it was 8395, now it's 8471. All you have to do is make the changes, hit submit. It is different, make sure you save. Same thing goes for address, email. Don't go in and set up a new customer, just go in and edit what's already there. Something I see a lot of is the customer will be in as Bob Kaiser, and then it goes in as Robert Kaiser, and if you go look at the address, they're both the same. Let's just try to have one record, and that's why I said at the beginning to go ahead and look up and see if that customer already exists. So I will clear out of here. There is one other thing you can do, and that is you can delete a customer. So this is the guy I just put in. And if for some reason, 2 years from now, whatever happens, they're not going to be a customer anymore, you can just go up here and click on delete. It will ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And you need to make sure you want to do it, or you're going to be deleting something and someone will have to re-enter him. I'm going to just cancel. If you hit OK, he'll go away. I'm going to hit cancel just for training purposes and show you a different one. So this one, look at what happens when I go try to delete him. It says it cannot be deleted. There are other records in the system that depend on this record, and that is orders. So there's an order in for this person. So we certainly don't want to be deleting this customer. It's plain an accident. So we go, oh, whoops, I'm sure glad that error, that message came up. So I didn't delete that customer that had an order in SeedWare. So it will give you a message. You can't hurt anything. And again, if you delete somebody you didn't want to, we can always re-enter them. So that is about everything I have on orders. I wanted to show you how to enter one, how to edit one, and how to delete one. So with that, that ends this recording on customer entry.